where should you start? Does it happen in stages? Where should you start? I think we've been repeatedly saying, you can only start from where you are. You cannot start somewhere else. Don't try to start anywhere. There's nothing to start. It's already long ago it's been started. You are trying to just hasten it, that's all. You can't start it, it's already started. Your longing to grow has started, isn't it? Maybe you're thinking of more money, but that's only your misunderstanding. But essentially, you want to be something more. That's a spiritual process. Misguided, but a spiritual process. You want to become powerful, you want to become rich, you want to become knowledgeable, you want to be loved, you want to have pleasure, all these are spiritual processes going in wrong directions, that's all. Unconscious conducting of… you're unconsciously conducting a spiritual process. If you conduct anything unconsciously, you may flounder every step, maybe off the bound, isn't it? If you walk… now if I tell you, drive home with your eyes closed, before you get out of the parking lot, you will be in quite a bit of mess, isn't it? So now, don't try to start anywhere, just become more and more conscious. As you become more conscious, it will naturally find its way. To be conscious, to be aware, what it means. If you try to be aware, you cannot be aware. People are always mistaking mental alertness for awareness. Mental alertness will enhance your ability to survive better. You can survive better with mental alertness. But that is not awareness. Awareness means, right now are you here, right now?
Yes.
Do you know that you're here?
Yes.
That's awareness. You're aware, that's why you know that you're here. Otherwise you would not know. Suppose you do not know that you're here, isn't it? If somebody… you know. So someone is dead, poke, no awareness. Someone is asleep, poke, immediately there. Now you don't have to be poked, still you're there. So what I'm saying is, your awareness anyway is coming in different stages. Have you noticed at different times of the day you're in different levels of awareness? So it can be heightened. What is needed for survival naturally happens. Even when it comes to survival mode, not every individual is alert to the same extent. Now you're driving on the street, not everybody is alert to the same extent, it's a survival process, driving. But not everybody is alert to the same extent. So even in the survival mode, not everybody is alert to the same extent, and that can be heightened. If you heighten this awareness continuously, a point will come where it's no more about survival. Something that is not needed for your survival will also come into your awareness. When that comes into your awareness, that which is not needed for your survival is bound to be a dimension beyond the physical. So when that comes into your living experience of life, you're on. Very simple. Those 7 days, what we were doing with you is slowly wind you up, wind you up, wind you up in such a way that you become more and more aware. Suddenly after 5-6 days, you were like… after that, if you kept up your practice, gradually it'll move up every day. Otherwise, slowly you became dim once again. Have you noticed this? You steadily keep up your practice, how your awareness is, you give it up and slowly, voltage is going down. If voltage goes down, the light becomes dim. Light becomes dim, you see very few things. The voltage is really high, light becomes really bright and you see everything. This is awareness. You just work upon your voltage. You keep your energies up as much as possible, and when energies are up, you tend to get entangled with something. You make sure you don't get entangled with anything. See, an adolescent is far more energetic than other people, but he is always getting into trouble because he has the energy, but he doesn't have the stability. So to have the energy and to maintain the stability, if you do these two things if you do, the rest will happen by itself. Nothing to do, simply sit and enjoy.
Without discipline, there can be no spiritual life. People are under the illusion that reading some spiritual text will make them attain the supreme goal of self-realization. Intellectual understanding of the spiritual text cannot make you an enlightened person. Though intellectual understanding of the text is necessary, because without good understanding, how shall you put those spiritual principles into practice? That's where, discipline comes into picture. Discipline helps you put those spiritual principles into practice. Without discipline, it's not at all possible to control the mind. As you all know that the goal of all spiritual endeavors is to go beyond the mind, right? But you cannot hope to go beyond it if you don't know how to control it. It's only when you can control the mind that you can go beyond it. Without the control of the mind, it's not possible to awaken to your real self. The scriptures give the beautiful example of a lake. The calm waters of the lake are compared to a calm mind, the mind devoid of any thoughts. And in this calm lake only can you see the reflection of the moon. Similarly, it's only in the calm mind can you see the reflection of the higher self. Actually, it's not the reflection that you see, it's the experience of your own self, the experience of your infinite nature beyond the mind. You cannot see the reflection of the moon in a lake full of ripples. Similarly, you cannot experience your own divine nature if your mind is not under control, if there are ceaseless ripples of thoughts in it. So, a calm mind is what is required for experiencing your higher self. That's clearly mentioned in Bhagavad Gita also. Arjuna asked Lord Krishna, "O Krishna, the mind is so unruly. Controlling it is like controlling a strong current of air. So, how can I really control it? How can I subdue its wicked tendencies so that I can experience my divine nature? It seems such an impossible task." And Lord Krishna replies, "Though the mind is unruly, though it is fickle and restless, but it can be controlled." And how? It can be controlled by dispassion and discipline. Dispassion is to see the transitory nature of this phenomenal world. Dispassion is to see that the world is in a state of continuous flux. Nothing is permanent here. Nothing lasts forever. So when you know that nothing lasts forever, you won't get attached to it, right? When you think on this line, this is dispassion. And out of this dispassion arises the true understanding. And then follows discipline of its own accord. Because now you know the nature of this world. Now you know the truth behind what you see. And when discipline comes in your life, then your life gets transformed. One verse of Bhagavad Gita gives the beautiful definition of discipline. Lord Krishna gives the secret of transformation in this very verse. He says to Arjun, "O Arjun, you can easily awaken to your real self if you don't eat too much, nor should you eat less. If you don't work too much, nor should you work less. If you don't sleep too much, nor should you sleep less." It sounds simple, right? But it's not so. It's the very foundation of discipline. What, Lord Krishna says to Arjun. People will overeat, and when they come to realize that it's really not good for their health, then they would start fasting. That's going from one extreme to the other, right? Either you will sleep for way too long, or you would remain awake most of the time. Just follow the middle path. That's what Buddha gave to his disciples. Don't go to any extreme. Remain in the middle, and this will transform your whole life. You will experience your divine nature. The mind can exist only in extreme. It just disappears when you follow the middle path.